Your kid starts telling you something about their day. Halfway through, you sigh. Not an angry sigh, just the quiet adult sigh. Your kid stops talking and says one of the most dangerous sentences in childhood. Never mind. You moved on. They didn't. They filed it away like a tiny accountant who only tracks withdrawals. No deposits, no interest, just a running balance of, I'm probably too much. Here's what's happening inside kids who quietly decide they're a burden. And the compliment parents say, proudly, that makes the belief permanent. 1. The sigh they never forget. You didn't mean anything by it. You came home exhausted. The kitchen was a disaster. Your kid followed you in and started telling you about their day. Friend drama, lunch nonsense, whatever. And you set your bag down and let out this long, slow exhale that basically communicated, the world is a lot right now. You weren't directing it at them. You were just tired. A completely legal, deeply human response to being a functioning adult. Because adulthood is mostly just walking into rooms and forgetting why you're there while bills multiply in the background. Their brain didn't get that memo. Kids don't interpret tone. They interpret survival. Their brain isn't doing emotional nuance. It's running airport security for feelings. Everything gets scanned for danger. And if you're honest, you probably learned to do the exact same thing when you were their age. They don't think, Mom's tired. They think, something's wrong. And if I'm talking when something's wrong, I might be the problem. Their brain has one job. Figure out if you're okay. And if not, whether it's their fault. Kids' bodies actually react to a parent's stress even when nothing is said out loud. Researchers found kids' heart rate actually spike from a parent's stress, even when no one said a word. The room doesn't need to be loud to be loud. So when your exhale landed mid-sentence, their brain ran a fast calculation. My needs plus your stress equals bad timing, and bad timing becomes never. And the thing about that calculation is that it doesn't stay in that moment. It generalizes, it becomes a rule, but it starts shaping everything. When I have something I need, I check the room first. If it looks full, I put mine back down. The rule installs instantly. No fight, no moment, just a kid doing math they didn't know they were doing. And that's how something tiny becomes a personality trait. Just a sigh, and a kid who stopped mid-sentence and decided something. 2. Shrinking as love. Picture a 14-year-old standing in the kitchen doorway. They start a sentence. They clock your face. They finish a completely different sentence. You didn't notice. They noticed that you didn't notice. Once a kid decides their needs are bad timing waiting to happen, they become very efficient editors. They wait for a better moment. They hold the question until after dinner, until the work call's done, until you seem more relaxed. Essentially, managing your calendar on your behalf. Unpaid. Tiny, unpaid emotional assistance. No salary, no benefits, just a lifetime contract in not bothering you. Then it's content. They stop bringing the things that feel heavy. They'll mention the funny stuff from school, but not the thing that actually kept them up last night. Then it's volume. Quieter, more agreeable, less friction. Not because they don't have feelings, because they've decided yours matter more. From the outside, this starts looking a lot like maturity. They're so good, so easy, never any trouble. Parents love this kid. Teachers love this kid too. Society too. Therapists will meet this kid in about 15 years. What's actually happening is self-erasure, which sounds dramatic, but most of the time it looks like a very polite kid who apologizes for existing. A well-adjusted kid on the outside. A kid holding their breath on the inside. 3. The praise that backfires here. And then, at a family dinner, completely by accident, you lock it in. Someone asks how the kids are doing, and you point at this one, the quiet one, the agreeable one, and you say it proudly. You're so low maintenance. You never give us any trouble. I don't have to worry about you. You're the easy one, which sounds nice until their brain turns it into a performance review. Everyone nods. Maybe grandma smiles. You move on to the pasta. You meant it as a compliment. You meant, I see you. I appreciate you. You're not a burden. What they heard is a job description. And kids take job descriptions very seriously, especially when the pay is love. And job descriptions can be failed, which means love can be failed. What they hear is, you love me because I don't cost you anything, which means the moment I cost you something, a hard conversation, a bad week, a need you have to actually hold, I break the thing that makes me lovable. So the praise tightens the rule. Stay easy. Stay small. Don't become the difficult one, because difficult is expensive. Think about the day they have a meltdown. The day they need you for too long. The day they're just not easy. That's the day they panic. Because somewhere in their head, they know this is the version of me that loses people. Kids will quietly hollow themselves out to keep the peace. Not because they're weak, because they love you and they've done the math. The easygoing kid is sometimes the kid who did the math and decided uncomplicated is the price of belonging. That's a full-time job they never applied for. 4. When they stop asking. Your teenager is struggling with something. You can tell from across the room. You wait for them to bring it to you. They don't. Later, you find out they spent an hour figuring it out alone. You say, why didn't you just ask? They say, I didn't want to bother you. At some point, the editing goes one level deeper. They stop asking for help. You frame this as a win. You tell people, they're so independent, they just figure it out. You say it like they just got into Harvard, and parents usually celebrate it. They're so independent, they just handle things. I don't have to worry about them. Hyper-independence is loneliness with good branding. It looks impressive, responsible, self-sufficient, and underneath it is a kid thinking, if I need nothing, I can't be too much. You might have noticed this already, framed it as confidence, as them figuring things out. Pay attention to what they stop asking for. Practical stuff? Fine. Rides, signatures, information. They'll ask for those. Emotional stuff. Comfort, reassurance, someone to just be in the room while it's bad. They go quiet. When a kid tries to show you something they're carrying and gets a sigh, a subject change, or that look on your face that says you're already somewhere else, their brain files it quickly. That felt worse than just handling it alone. Often it traces back to one moment where they needed something and the timing was just bad. That's it. That's the whole origin story. The parent wasn't cruel, just full. The kid noticed, so they handle it themselves. And then they handle the next thing themselves. And then handling it alone becomes their identity. The self-sufficient one, the capable one, the one you don't have to worry about. And you stop worrying, which to them confirms the whole theory. If I mattered, they'd worry. One more thing that reverses this faster than anything. Let them watch you need something, not the version where you're fine. Actually say, this week was hard and I need some help. Show them the world stays intact when someone asks. What comes next is the only thing that actually reverses this, because the real damage doesn't show up in childhood. 5. What it becomes. Fast forward 15 years. They have their life together on paper. Apartment, job, group chat they actually reply to. They're the one everyone calls when something falls apart. Reliable, steady, the emotional load-bearing wall of every relationship they're in. They've been training for it since middle school, but watch what happens when they're the ones struggling. They shrink it. It's not a big deal. They wave it off. I'm fine, honestly. They help everyone around them with extraordinary care and ask for almost nothing back. Asking still feels like proof they're too much, so they skip it entirely. They build relationships where they're the supporter, never the supported. When someone offers them care, they feel genuinely uncomfortable. Suspicious, almost, like there's a catch. Someone asks them what they need. They freeze, because nobody gave them the manual for that. The needs are there. The permission isn't. And by adulthood, they don't even realize permission is missing. And when a relationship gets hard, when they need to say, I need something from you right now, a lot of them go quiet instead. They'd rather absorb the weight alone than risk finding out that their needs are, as suspected, inconvenient. By adulthood, it doesn't feel like fear. It feels like who they are. And the loneliness of that is real. Surrounded by people who love them, still feeling somehow apart. Like there's a version of closeness they can see, but can't quite reach. Because reaching for it would mean admitting they need something. That, never mind, in the kitchen. It's been running this whole time. It just upgraded from a sentence to a belief. 6. So, what do? There's no factory reset for this, but the same thing that built it can undo it. Small moments in the opposite direction. You won't get this right every time. Some nights, the day is still going to be all over your face. The sigh happens. What matters is going back. Hey, earlier, when you started to say something and I seemed distracted, I want to know what it is. That return matters more than the original miss, because the repair matters more than perfection. Under every never mind, there's one question. Am I allowed to cost you something? Because whatever answer they feel from you becomes the person they grow into, or the one they spend adulthood trying to fix.